going. So what we're doing is we're getting. We're doing the the bird raptors thing. The bear zone in Sedona. The show.
Do you have enough time to get something to eat?
No, they're starting now. Looks like they're like looking to see get ready. Can you see? Okay, the show is starting.
Sit here.
Oh, can I have a tissue? No.
All right, I think we're about ready to get started. I'd like to welcome everybody out to Arizona's 11 o'clock Raptor program. I'm Susan, and along with Clara behind you and Linda behind me, we're going to be bringing you the program this morning. There are a couple of things that we do like to go over before we get started. One is photography. If you have a camera, feel free to take all the pictures that you'd like. Video is fine, flash, any kind of attachments doesn't bother the birds at all. We do ask though that if you're in the flight zone, which is our gated off area here, that you do remain seated to take your photographs, and that you do keep cameras and iPads and GoPros and things at head level or below for the safety of the birds. And then for questions, we like to wait for the end of the program. This kind of helps to keep things rolling along. And one of the handlers will be bringing one of the birds out afterwards. They'll take them into the back. And that way, if you didn't get the pictures you wanted, you have questions, which hopefully you will, then the handler should be able to help you out there. Then the free flight portion of the program, and to me that's the most fun. Because for a lot of you, some of the birds are going to be clearing you by just a few inches or less. And it's pretty much because they don't care about you whatsoever. But we like everybody to know because you might get your hat knocked off or your hair fluffed, and it is a lot of fun. But for some people, that's a little too close for comfort. And if you're one of those folks, one of the best spots is on the other side of the fence. You still get a good view, we fly the birds close, they're just not zipping overhead. So if you or anybody in your group would be more comfortable there, at this point Clara would be happy to let you out. And also if you're waiting for family and friends, since we've already started our safety brief, we can't let anybody else in. So if you wanted to join them, you would also need to exit at this time. Everybody good? All right, so for everyone that's decided to remain in the flight zone, there are a couple favors that we do ask, and that's that you do remain seated with hands down during the entire program, and that children do remain with their parents and seated with hands down. And that's both as a courtesy to your neighbors, but mostly for the safety of the birds. They look really substantial, and they are to a point, but their bones are basically hollow, which make them fairly fragile. So trying to reach up to touch a bird, or simply getting up to chase a little one, or switch seats, there is a risk of collision or injury to the birds. So for their safety, we do ask that you do remain seated and just enjoy the show. All right, got that out of the way, so now we really are ready to get started. And the first family group of raptors we're going to have out is going to be a member of the owl family. And owls in general have different adaptations to help them to hunt at night that the daytime birds of prey don't have. And one of those adaptations is silent flight. So what we would like to do now is demonstrate the silent flight of the owl by doing some role playing. And this is actually really fun and fairly safe, but I am going to need a very brave volunteer in the audience.
What?
Thought your arm was going to fly off. Yeah, go ahead, come on. All right. Yeah, let's give her a round. Takes a lot of guts to come up here. She probably has no idea what we're going to do to her. All right. And your name is? Sierra. Thank you for volunteering, Sierra. We're going to have you take a seat on our fake rock. Yeah, and Sierra, are you from Arizona? Ish. Okay. You go to school here. All right. All right. Well, this is not just Sierra from Arizona-ish any longer. This is now Sierra the mouse. And yeah, and actually Sierra, we're all mice. It's 2 in the morning. We're out here at Arizona. These are now your aunts and uncles, cousins, brothers and sisters. It's fall, but the evening's still pretty good. But there's so many owls out there still waiting to try to get us that tonight Sierra has graciously volunteered to be the guard mouse. Now, Sierra is a smart mouse. She wouldn't be out at 2 in the morning sitting in a clearing like a target. Sierra, you'd probably be under a rock or a bush, so you'd hear the owl coming, but probably never see it. So to reenact that, Sierra is going to put on a blindfold. Looks pretty good. All right, Sierra, can you see? Okay, that's probably for the best. Now, since you are no longer a person, you are now a mouse. You can't talk anymore. You're going to have to squeak to warn us. Actually, should we give it this first? I've got a squeaker. Yeah. Go ahead and give it a good squeeze. Perfect. Everybody in the back can hear that okay? This is important. This is Sierra's means of communication. This is the way she's going to warn us that the owl is approaching. Now, we're almost ready, but here at Arizona, we really are very safety conscious. We're working with some of the largest avian predators on Earth. These are Eurasian eagle owls. They don't get any bigger. So we do have some required head protection. This is required headwear for all volunteers. What is okay, Sierra? We can put it right over your existing headwear. There we go. All right. I think Sierra's ready. We're going to release the owl. We're going to be very quiet. And Sierra, as soon as you hear that owl coming to get us, you, of course, are going to squeak to warn us. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go. Oh, Sierra, that was so close, but she's already landed and she's finishing you off right now. But that's okay. You can go ahead and take off your blindfold and look above you there. Isn't she beautiful? Well, I think we're going to see her a really big round of applause. She sacrificed her own life to save the rest of us. Good job, Sierra. That actually was very close, too. She's fine. She's fine. Let's give her another round. It really does take a lot of guts to come up here. Thanks again, Sierra. Well, this is Luna. This is a Eurasian eagle owl, one of the largest species of owl in the world, and a cousin to our great horned owl. And besides the silent flight, the other thing, of course, that makes owls such good nighttime predators is the vision, or the eyes. If you look at her eyes, they're huge. They're physically larger than our eyes are. And everyone knows that if you were to pluck your eyeball out, take a close look at hers. Our eyes are round. We have little muscles. We can move them up and down, back and forth. Luna, on the other hand, if you were to pluck her eyeball out, you'd notice pretty quickly they're not round. Her eyes are cylindrical. Matter of fact, they're so large, they take up more room in her skull than her brain does. So they're huge eyes. And because they go so far back into the skull, they're fixed. She can't move her eyes up and down or back and forth. So her peripheral vision is a little limited. And that's, of course, the reason that owls have to turn their heads around so far. So, without raising your hands, you can just shout it out. Who can guess how far can an owl turn its head? 180 halfway is a very good guess, but actually the hawks and the falcons can go halfway. 360 all the way. They can do that once, but then we need a new owl. But a very good guess.
If I stand up.
270, yep, they'll get 3/4 of the way around, which is actually pretty impressive. The reason they can do that and we can't is they have twice as many neck bones. We have 7 cervical vertebrae, they have 14, so twice as many. So under all those feathers, her neck is actually very long, very skinny, and very flexible. And for anybody who hasn't been to the program before, who can guess how much Luna weighs? About 20? It's a pretty good guess. She weighs almost 6 pounds. And at 6 pounds, she's a big girl. So you can see these birds really do look a lot bigger than they actually are. And if she was a turkey, it'd be a different story. But their bones are basically hollow, and some of the bones are actually used for respiration. So they're also incredibly efficient flyers. All right, well, we're gonna stick with the owl family. And next is going to be the great horned owl. And whenever I think about the great horned owl, the first thing that, kind of pops into my head, is